Hello everyone, welcome to Cole's Arcade. I'm Cole and this is my arcade. So what is this show? Well, I like games, and I like to talk about games. So here we are. That's about all there is to it. I'm just gonna talk and see what happens. So let's get started here with my personal #1 favorite game series of all time, Mass Effect. Okay, so about Andromeda. Having played through the whole game twice now, I can safely say that it does not deserve all the hate it's getting. Yes, there were a handful of bugs, but that's true of every game. I mean, look at Skyrim. That game is buggy to hell and gone, and yet still beloved 6 years later. My honest-to-God opinion of Mass Effect Andromeda is this. It takes some getting used to, but it's a great game. Seriously, guys, I don't understand why it's getting so much hate. Yeah, it's very different from what we expect Mass Effect to be, but you have to be patient. They'll get there. Since Ryder showed up and got things back on track, they can now start building the galactic community we all want. Give it time to build. Hell, there's probably already other races out there, maybe at war with the Ket, that have their own civilizations. I'm sure we'll eventually ally with them and integrate societies, but we have to give it time and be patient. Remember, it's a new galaxy. If you don't want a new galaxy, that's fine, but you can't blame the game for that. I'm pretty sure most people can agree that Mass Effect 2 was the best in most regards, largely because we got to explore a portion of a galactic community. A bit of the Citadel, Ilium, Omega, and even Tuchanka. Seeing such a vast galactic civilization and a vast diversity among it is one of the biggest things that made Mass Effect great. But now, in Andromeda, we get to watch it build up to that. Imagine in another game or two what the Nexus will look like, and we'll remember how it started out as a wreck. A galactic community full of diversity will come eventually, and we're just looking at the first step towards that. I understand the want for that community, I want it too, but it's coming, and in the meantime, I'm fine with seeing it build while exploring what's already there. Another big thing that Mass Effect always excelled at were the characters. Such rich diversity, multi-dimensional personalities, and so on just made the world feel so alive, which is relatively rare among video games nowadays. In Andromeda, they still accomplished that for the most part. I mean, there are some not-so-likable characters in the game, yeah, but that's been true of every Mass Effect game. Hell, that's true of every game. No game is perfect, and it really feels like all the, quote, flaws in Andromeda are just people nitpicking and then blowing them way out of proportion. I mean, one complaint I actually get about Andromeda is that they recycle a few ideas. The biggest one I can think of is that Sloane Kelly is just a discount aria. It is annoying when they blatantly recycle ideas like that. I mean, that hard-ass female leader of a criminal empire is done. Just let it rest. So yeah, the game isn't without problems. I could name a bunch off the top of my head, but we can't discount the great things about it. Most of the squad mates were really good. The exploration was a lot of fun. The Remnant architecture was fascinating. And the Angara were a beautiful race. And I don't just mean aesthetically. Their entire culture was gorgeous. I'm serious in that I almost teared up just seeing some of it. So, yeah, other than recycled ideas, my only real complaint is how ambient conversations interrupt each other. Like, if two characters are bantering in the Nomad, and then I just happen to drive near a side quest, the conversation will be cut off. That is consistently annoying. Also, this one is probably just me, but facial reconstructive surgery? Guys, stop trying to explain it away. Good God, just present it for what it is. Remember in the first Mass Effect where you did that whole reconstruct profile thing? How about this? You go to a terminal to access your initiative profile and confirm facial identification. There you go. Antiquated Xenon. Okay, I admit, that was hilarious. Also, some of these thank you messages at the end made me smile. But back to the main topic here. Let me ask you guys honestly. Do you think Mass Effect Andromeda is a bad game? I certainly don't. Again, it takes some getting used to, there are a handful of bugs, but I had a great time playing it. The story presented a lot of mystery to me, the characters and relationships were engaging, the worlds were beautiful, and it was fun to play. It provoked genuine emotion from me, and it made me excited to see what comes next in the new galaxy. How can you ask for more than that? The game does have its problems, I'm not blind to that, but there aren't nearly enough to ruin it, and certainly not enough to justify all the hate it's getting. Sincerely, I do not get all the hate surrounding this game. But that's just my 2 cents, so let me know in the comments. Do you agree with me that all this hullabaloo is undeserved? If you don't, that's fine, but I would like to know why. So that about wraps this up. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.